We recently did a couple of programs about emergency funds, about 5 ways to save fast for an emergency fund, and we did a program about when to use your emergency fund. And it's a good thing that we did because, well, this happened. Hi, I'm Hope.
And I'm Larry.
From Under the Median. As you might imagine, those holes in our ceiling, not put there on purpose. In this program, we are going to talk to you and tell you exactly what happened, what we think we're going to have to do to fix it, and explain why we are going to have to dig into our emergency fund. And since it actually happened, we thought it would be a really great idea to share with you some quick, easy ways that the average family can actually refund their emergency fund when they've had to use it. Because that's the thing. Look, we get it all built up to where we want it to be, whether that be the beginning, the starter emergency fund of $2,000, or the fully funded emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of living expenses. And then we cross our fingers, right? Oh, I hope I don't have to use it. Well, you know, sadly life happens and then eventually you do have to use it. And so the whole idea of having to rebuild it can be a little bit overwhelming. Now, if you're out there and you're unfamiliar with us, you've not watched our channel before, every week on this channel we talk about practical frugality and living with a spirit of joy and abundance on a budget. And it's a good thing we do because this was not exactly joyful. All right, Larry, fill them in. What happened?
Well, last Tuesday, I believe it was.
It feels like it's been forever, guys.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was Tuesday.
I get a phone call down at work, and it says, Larry, you're going to have to come home right away. We've got water seeping in from the ceiling in our basement. And I thought, well, you know, we have been around the block with this a few times with this house. This house was built in 1958. It has very thin copper tubing, and this is what the copper looks like that's up in our ceiling. Unfortunately, they finished the ceiling in the basement, so all the pipes are covered. Now, I would never do that in a basement. I would leave access to those. So I told Hope, shut the water off, take the pressure off by opening up the bathroom utility sink and the kitchen sink here and allowing the pressure to come off the line. I said, it'll stop leaking, and then, of course, call our plumber. So I came home, and when we took care of all the particulars, we had a plumber come out in the afternoon, and he really couldn't find the leak because the leak where it was coming through the ceiling was not actually where the pipe was leaking. And it was just I guess you'd call it a little pinhole that these copper pipes get in them. But it had been going for a little while. There was a lot of water up in the what do you call the post?
The drywall.
Drywall. It was so the drywall had quite a bit of water up there. So now, of course, all this time it has dried out. So what we'll have to do is put in a pipe from our meter all the way to the hot water heater. And that is about a 45 foot run. So it's going to be a little bit of money. Yeah. Now, when you have an emergency fund, then I sing about it, and we've been talking to you about emergency funds the last few programs, so it's kind of apropos that we should get a little taste of having to use our own.
Our very own emergency, guys.
But you know, the nice thing about having an emergency fund, you don't panic. You just say, okay, this happened. What are we going to do about it? We've got the funds. It's just a matter of finding the right people to come in and do the work. So we're going to talk a little bit today on how to replenish that emergency fund so that when you use it, you can build it back up again.
Now, the whole idea, as I mentioned, of building it back up again, that can seem daunting because for some of us, it took a whole lot of work and effort to even get the emergency fund in place in the first place.
Yeah.
And if you haven't had to use it for a long time, then your circumstances have changed and perhaps it feels like it's not going to be as easy to do that. So what I want to do, we're going to head over to the whiteboard and I am going to show you an actual chart that I made that shows two different families. One, the average American family, we're going to give them 12 months to save an emergency fund replenishment of $5,000. And the thrifty American family, we're going to give them a little longer. We're going to give them 18 months to replenish that emergency fund. But I'm going to show you. They're quick, easy, simple changes that you can make to your monthly budget that will over time accumulate $5,000 to replace your emergency fund. Let's head to the whiteboard. Hey guys, thanks for joining me over at the whiteboard. So what I'm going to show you is just a practical application. We're talking an emergency fund of $5,000. Now, as we mentioned, that's kind of an arbitrary figure because the truth is we haven't gotten our estimates yet and we don't know how deeply we're going to have to dig into our emergency fund in order to repair the damage on our home. So we just picked this figure because we want some figure that we can work from to show you how easy it actually is to actually reimburse yourself and rebuild that emergency fund. Here's the deal, guys. I'm going to straight talk you, all right? People don't reach goals because they do not honestly believe that the little changes, the small things that they do every day to save money are actually going to add up to anything that is going to help them reach their goals, particularly if it's kind of a great big goal. And for a lot of us, $5,000 is quite a bit of money, right? But I'm going to show you on the board here. All right, so we've got two sides on the board. It's $5,000 emergency fund. We're going to rebuild that fund, and I'm going to show you two different families, okay? We have the average American family. We're going to give them 12 months to reach that $5,000 goal. Now, our thrifty American family, we're already running under the assumption that they're maximizing some of their savings and they're already not spending as much as the average American family. But is it still possible for them to reach that goal of $5,000? And the answer is yes. But what we're going to do in this example is we're going to give them a little bit more time. They have 18 months to reach that goal because it's going to take them a little bit more effort. They're going to have to change a few more things in order to rebuild that savings. So let's take a look. Average American family. Here's the change they're going to make. I'm going to write the changes in this column. This column, we're going to see how much they're going to save every month. And then over here, we're going to total that for 12 months savings. First thing we're going to do, I'm sorry guys, we're going to cut your eating out. Am I going to cut it all together? No. All right, you're still going to get to eat out some, but here's the truth. The average American household. Now in America, an average household is 2.5 people. The average American household spends $3,000 a year eating out. That's $250 a month. Now, our example is going to be based on a family size of 4 because we have 4 people in our household, all right? So some of the tips I'm going to give you, we actually have been doing and they're working for us. And so it seemed applicable to use 4 people in the household. So I'm going to tell the average American family of 4, I'm making the assumption that they are spending just $300 a month eating out. And that probably is a low figure. So if you spend more than that eating out, you apply this tip, your savings is actually going to be greater, okay? So I'm still going to give you 1 evening meal out a month. I'm assuming you're eating out 4 times during the month, once a week, spending about $75 every time you take your family out to eat. You're going to cut 3 out of 4 of those times out. So you're still going to go out to eat once a month. What's that going to do? Eating out. All right, eating out, you're going to eat out just once a month, and that's going to save you $225 a month. Now, over 12 months, you know what that totals? It's huge. You're not going to believe it. It is $2,700. That's what you're going to save over a 12-month period, just changing your eating out habits from eating out 4 times a month to eating out just once a month. Now, the next thing you're going to do, in addition to that, is you're going to maximize, we're going to put M-A-X-I-M, maximize your food savings. Okay, so how are we going to do that? I'm talking about some really simple things. None of these things that I'm going to share with you is hard to do. So over a 12-month period, that average American family of 4 they're going to make sure that they are bulk cooking, that they are menu planning, that they are shopping, buying what's on sale. By doing that, I'm assuming they can lower their grocery budget by a certain percentage. What percentage is that? I'm assuming 30%. Now, average American family of 4. What are they actually spending on groceries every month? Well, according to the USDA, it's somewhere between $700 and $1,200 a month. Now, I'm assuming our family of 4, because y'all are watching this channel, all right? So you're a little bit thrifty, all right? So I assumed $800 a month was what you were spending on food already. You're going to be able to save 30%, which means you're going to save $240 a month by just doing those 3 things I just mentioned to you. Bulk cooking. Oh, Larry says he can't see the marker. Okay, guys. These are my kids' markers. All right. There we go. Woo, I can see it. $240 a month, all right? That is 30% less than $800. So $240 a month, you're gonna save that for 12 months, $2,880. And if we total that up, we have reached $5,580. That's how quick and easy it is. Look, 2 changes, 2 simple changes, 12 months, and you are saving over your goal. You're saving $5,580. That's the average American family. Now, what about our thrifty family, okay? These are the people that are already doing some of the things to maximize their savings. The question is, can they also reach that goal of $5,000? How long is it going to take them to do that, and what are they going to have to do? I'm going to tell you. So the thrifty family is already doing some things in order to lower their expenses every month, all right? So in this case, I'm assuming that they're still eating out. They're eating out twice a month instead of 4 times a month, and they're only spending $50 each time they're eating out. And so they're already eating restaurant meals when they can get great deals. The kids eat for free. There's specials that they like, or they're using coupons or discounts, all right? So they're only spending $50 each time they go out to eat. But they're going to skip one of those. Once again, just like the average American family, the thrifty family is still going to get to eat out 1 time a month. Now they're going to skip eating out. See, this is eating out. And they're going to save $50. They're only spending $100. They're going to save half of that. They're going to save $50. Over 18 months, that adds up to $900. What else is our thrifty family going to need to do to reach this goal? Once again, $5,000. They have 18 months. We're assuming that they are going out on date nights, but they're just going out and they're grabbing coffee a couple of times a month, right? So they're going out, they're grabbing coffee, they're splitting a piece of pie, they're doing something cheap, less expensive. So they're gonna cut out one of those. One of your date nights, you can still go out on dates, guys. It doesn't cost money to go out on a date with your spouse. You can go out, take a walk, hold hands. It's just as fun as sitting in a restaurant having a piece of pie or a cup of coffee, I'm telling you. So you're gonna save $10 because your date nights were only costing you $10 anyway. You're gonna take one of those out, and you're going to save $180 over the course of 18 months. Now, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to maximize your food savings. Here, I'll put a line there so you can see. You're going to maximize your food savings. You are already not spending quite as much as the average family. You're spending a little bit less, but I guarantee you, if you do those 3 things I said, if you bulk cook, you menu plan, and you also shop those sales, you're actually going to save some money too. So you are going to save $150 a month on your food budget. $150. That's what you're going to shave off your food budget. And over the course of 18 months, that adds up to, look at this, guys. Now we're making serious progress. $2,700. The question is, can the thrifty family cut their food budget when they feel like it's already maximized? And the answer is, yes, they can. Do you know how I know? I know because I've done it. And when I implemented all 3 of those things that I just told you, my grocery expenses dropped by over 30%. So I know if I can do it, you can do it. Now, you're also, this thrifty family, they're going to consolidate trips. So they're going to maximize the amount that the gas mileage in their car. We just did a video about this. We gave you 15 ways that we maximize the gas mileage in our car. Larry, it's like his thing, guys. He loves tricks of the trade to maximize gas mileage. He absolutely loves doing that. And so you're going to consolidate those things, and you're going to cut your gas budget by $30 a month. Over 18 months, that's $540. Now we're adding up. We got 2 more things that this thrifty family is going to do. We are assuming that they actually are, they have Netflix. I know, don't we all, right? They have the family plan, and so they're only going to borrow from the library for 18 months. I'm sorry, Netflix, you're going away for 18 months. You will not know what happened on the Bridgertons for the 18 months, all right? So that's $15 a month. Over 18 months, that's $270. And one more thing, I hope I got room for it here. You're going to cut your utility bills. You're not going to cut them off completely. utility. So you're going to cut your utility usage. You're going to save an average across the year and a half of $25 a month. So in some months, you're not going to quite reach $25 of savings. In other months, you're going to blow it out of the water and you're going to have more than that. So that is over 18 months, $450. And I'm going to write up here because I ran out of room. All of these combined adds up to, ready? $5,040. So I just showed you right there. It's possible for the average family to save within 12 months a little over $5,000 and replenish their emergency fund. But even if you're thrifty, you make a few more changes and a few more cuts, you're going to take a little bit longer time, 18 months, but you too can reach that $5,040. Tell me in the comment section of this video, was seeing this in print, was this helpful for you to see the chart and see exactly what you need to do, what you need to cut, and how much money that accrues over time? Because once again, I'm trying to show you guys small changes over a long period of time will help you reach those goals. As you'll notice, guys, everything that I just showed you at the whiteboard, nothing that I showed you was like radical, it wasn't, like anything you can think of that would be like a really, really crazy thing to do to try to save money. None of that was like out of the ordinary changes for you to make. Here's the key, right? Did any of these changes I suggest they make, are they going to give them instant money overnight?
Oh, no, nothing's overnight.
No.
Unless you strike oil in the backyard. And I think that was only good for the hillbillies.
If you do, let us know, all right? If you actually have struck oil in your backyard, tell us about it, okay? We want to know. But for most of us, that's just not going to work. It's not an overnight thing where you're going to put that much money back into a specific goal. What we want to show you once again, and this is the key takeaway, guys, small changes over long periods of time actually accrue enough money and have enough force behind them to help you to reach goals, even if they are great big goals.
And the things that Hope went over on the whiteboard are also very applicable to you if you don't have an emergency fund to begin with. This is a good way to build up an emergency fund from ground up.
Mm-hmm. Now, we have actually reached some great big goals over 33 years of marriage because we raised our kids debt-free on a less than average income. So if you really want to know some of the things that we actually have done in order to spend less and save more, we have a free resource, and I'll list a link for it in the description of this video. It's 10 ways to radically reduce your expenses. It's got checklists on every page that help you to work through each of these steps and implement them in your own family. So once again, it's free. There's a link in the description of the video. We'd love to know in the comments section, have you had a goal like this? Have you had to dig into your emergency fund? How did you replenish that money? What things did you do that you found really super helpful? We would love to dialogue with you. Let's do it, guys, in the comments section of the video. If you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up. And if this is your first time with us, or if you're not already a subscriber, well,
why not?
Make sure that you're a subscriber to Under the Median and hit that notification bell. We'll see y'all next week.
This is a Corey brand coffee maker. It's all glass, and it includes a glass filter. So instead of using paper filters that you had to replace, it had a permanent filter. The claim was that they were a lot easier to make coffee with.